Yo.
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 Flames Talk, we're back, baby.
Woo!
Probably. We've been doing this for 1 year, and we instantly realized we also have to watch Flames hockey when they're losing.
Walker dude.
Walker dude! Connor Zari's looking promising, man. Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pucker Stuff podcast, where we talk about puck and other stuff. Here with my boy B-Dog. How you doing, good sir?
I'm doing pretty good on this side, and welcome back to Flames Talk. Our favorite talk, as always, is the Calgary Flames. T-Dog, what do we got for today? Because the last few games have been definitely interesting, especially when we get closer to playoffs. We're officially 15 games away until the end of the regular season for the Calgary Flames.
Yep. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we did the last one. Different day, similar results, very mucky middle.
Very much.
Wins, losses, all that fun stuff. But with with the trade deadline that has officially been completed, we have a complete new roster.
Yeah.
And now we have a few games where we've been able to see how this team actually performs with that roster. Pretty much starting it off. I think, laughed off with the Penguins, that 4-3 win.
Yep.
Then I remember watching this game, actually, the Seattle game. So we're going a while back, but the Seattle game, the 4-2 loss on the Monday, that game was slow. It wasn't a lot of rush there. And now this would have been Hanifin's last game. Hanifin's last game as a Flame was that Seattle one.
Correct.
Yeah, that would have been, because the deadline, he got traded on the Wednesday and the 6th. Yep, and then
We play Tampa.
Pretty much. So you kind of compare that to the Tampa game. The Tampa game was, but a lot of effort put in there, a lot of hustle. You can tell the players who have some sort of connections to the team, whether that be Coleman, Huberto, Uyghur, vice versa. We're playing with a lot of heart and a lot of aggressiveness in that game.
Yeah.
Solid win. The full team, it was a full team effort, all that. Then that weekend trip. Ugh.
Yeah. We got our ass
and this is again why, as much as it's fun to see them still in the hunt for playoffs, when you're losing to Florida 5-1, you lose to Carolina 7-2, and you lose to the Avalanche 6-2. These are playoff contenders who are potential cup contenders, and you can't compete with them. Kind of tough. Now, bearing the fact that at this point, everyone that was needed to be gone is gone, so your team's new. Their team now has those new additions, so you're trying to get them used to the system and everything. But this is what you have. Then you move on to Thursday. That 4-1 win against Vegas. That was a great win. That was a fun win to watch. That was awesome to see. And Wolf, oh my goodness. So this is the Wolf that we expected, and I really do think that we'll see this more. Vegas is a weird team in the sense that they're there and then they're not there. I mean, you got to win games like this, though. If you're in the second wildcard spot, I mean, they'll make it anyways. But great game in general. And then Saturday, so the last game as we record this that they have played, another solid win against the Habs. Habs really didn't put up much pressure. Wolf was also outstanding on his head. Made some fantastic saves. The power play helped us and won us a game for once in our life. That was outstanding. So maybe that helps Savard keep his job or something. I don't know. But
maybe. Just maybe.
Honestly, those games are great comebacks from those other losses. And it feels like, especially since you beat Vegas with a score like that, you kind of forget about those big losses.
I would definitely say so, because like you said, we just came off of a 5-game winning streak, the first one of all season, and then we verse a team like the Kraken. And when you're on this kind of roll, you don't expect to lose to a team like a Kraken when you know you're kind of in a battle of positions wise with the Kraken, and you lose that. That really sucks to watch. And it wasn't a great game all around, to be honest. But then you did kind of bounce back with Tampa, which I wasn't expecting us to win against Tampa. I'm not going to lie to you, but it was a great game. And then you mentioned the weekend road trip where we're brought back down to reality. We get ass kicked by Florida, Carolina, and the Avalanche, top tier playoff contenders, and you get swamped. It was kind of we were brought back down to reality a little bit with this, and it just kind of proved that we really are looking in a complete different direction than we were expecting beforehand. But you and I knew this all season. Let's be honest here. But we do get to the Vegas game, and I gotta say, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen Wolf play for sure. Like 100%. Vegas is looking like a deadly team that is still in a wild card spot. But after what they did at the deadline, everyone thought they won it all. They are the best, one of the best teams in the league right now. But how Wolf played that game and the Montreal game just shows a little bit of a glimpse of what he can do with the Flames for the future. And I'm so excited. And you could even see it with the Montreal game that Wolf got confident after the Vegas game. And you notice he's starting to look bigger as a goaltender, especially for how small a lot of people think he is. So there's some positive to take out of it. That's realistically what I like the most about it.
Like everyone's been comparing him to Saros.
Yeah.
Every time I look at Saros, I think he's just a normal sized goalie. I don't see, but he's only 6 foot. I think they're the same height. Now, Wolf's younger, so he'll probably fill out right and look a little bigger in the net as well. But
Yeah.
he plays the post well. I just sometimes I'll watch him specifically in the play, and like he's just got great puck tracking abilities. He always knows where it is. He's always like in in the areas that he needs to be, like in the net. And
I think personally for a goaltender like Wolf that is smaller, your puck tracking ability has to be 2 times better than a goalie who is like 6'3", 6'4" comparison, because at least if you're a big enough goalie, you can cover most of the net that if you don't track it, there's a good chance it'll still hit you. But with Wolf's case of his size, that tracking ability has to be like on point, or he might miss it. But those last 2 games, he was on point with that, which I love to see. But continue with your point. I just wanted to.
You know what? You know what? It's funny you said that. Kipper was like that too. Very good at puck tracking.
Yeah, he was amazing.
The mobility and stuff. But yeah, honestly, like there's potential there, right? You see that. So all you hope is that he just plays it out the rest of the season.
I actually was texting you prior the other day about this of, damn, I really wish we traded Markstrom now because I want to see more of Dustin Wolf. But now, what do you think is the situation now with Markstrom? Because right now he has a day-to-day upper body injury, and we're giving the chance for a Vladar Wolf tandem. What do you think is now the situation of what we do with these 3 goalies?
Well, tough to say. I don't think Markstrom's might not be the happiest person right now.
I believe it.
Injury is one thing, but he is playing the best hockey of his career, I would say, or up there. And he came here to win. Everyone that he wanted to win with is pretty much gone. Yep. Lindholm being a great example of that, because they're the good buddies. So, in my opinion, what to do now? Well, what I think what's going to happen is you're going to let Markstrom go at the end of the season. He's going to go to some team who needs a goalie, right?
Yeah.
And you'll probably get some pieces for that. I don't know what you'll get, but you're going to get something, because at least there'll be a little bit of value because of how good of a season he did have. Then you're going to have a Vladar Wolf tandem, and it'll probably be pretty 1A, 1B for a good amount of time until something happens where a goalie can really outshine the other, like significantly.
Yeah.
And you won't really see that until you get a tandem like that consistently, for say.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair. I kind of wanted to ask this because, like, when I messaged you about this kind of topic, I noticed that like the highest value of trading Markstrom would have been at the deadline, because there were teams that were super desperate in the scenarios they were in for goaltending. You saw it with the New Jersey Devil rumors. You saw it with a few other teams that looked desperate for a goalie. But the Flames decided we could potentially still have a chance with playoffs if we keep Markstrom. So they decided to keep him for the rest of the season. And like we said before in the last podcast, he wasn't happy. He had some comments about that. But Now we look at Wolf just after 2 games, and it's so tempting to just keep him up and keep him in games,
100%.
because this is how he grows his experience to an NHL level, by playing those games. Like you said before, that he really doesn't have much to prove in the AHL. He was MVP last year. He's been goalie of the year 2 years in a row. Realistically, the only thing he has to prove there is win a Calder Cup. So, and yeah, I could he do it this year with the Wranglers? Potentially. It's like, dude, I would instantly say bring him up if they win it this year, for say. But yeah, I don't think he's got much to prove. And just seeing what he can do in these 2 games, and a lot of people judging him on his height, and now he's proven them wrong a little bit. It makes me like so curious of what they could potentially do for the future of this 3 goalie tandem. And it just bugs me a little bit that we didn't get rid of Markstrom at the deadline, and now his value is going to drop probably by the draft. But again, we'll see what happens. But I wanted to hear your thoughts on what would you think would happen with this tandem.
I want TJ Ginla,
I
but I
think.
guess if we here's the thing, but playoffs are pretty much impossible. Like you're fighting. What are we now?
Oh,
I
here, I
don't
got it in front of you. So we sit in the wild card standings. We are fifth with 71 points in 67 games. Minnesota and St. Louis are ahead of us with 74 and 75 points. Vegas is still in the second wild card spot with 79 and has games in hand with 67 over St. Louis and Minnesota. So it's a small chance at playoffs, but we need to like win every game basically.
a lot has to go right. Not even just winning everything, because you know how much can you bank on that? But it's hard to win 15 straight at the end of the season.
When you've been lose win all season.
People need to lose, right? Like other teams need to lose, specifically Vegas, Minnesota, and St. Louis.
Yeah.
So you have to think about that as well. I mean, I guess we'll just enjoy the ride, and getting young players are getting it in.
Yeah.
I was wanting to even talk about this as well. Well, some of these new additions. How do you feel about some of these additions? I'll just like list off a name and just tell me what you think about them. But I think the first one that comes to mind right now is Daniil Miramanov.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to lie. I could understand why a lot of Flames fans were skeptical of this defenseman for sure. But definitely after just 5 games with the Flames, you notice him very well. You don't miss a 6'4" Russian on defense. And I didn't
No,
realize he was such a big body, especially defensively, because I think realistically the Flames were missing that with Zadorov when we traded him. And I think a lot of us noticed it throughout the season since that trade. But now we have Miramanov back there, and he's more noticeable. I think he's a really great defenseman, especially in our own zone. I don't know how I feel about his breakout, but it's not bad. But I gotta say, he's also got one hell of a shot. He's already got 2 goals for us in those 5 games, and they were both clappers from the point, bro. He's got a slap shot.
the Zadorov.
Oh,
And we have another Nikita and Ohochuk, so it works out.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm really liking his performance so far. No complaints my way. I just want to see more out of him. That's all I want. He's playing, if I'm correct, he is on the line with Weegar right now, who is another really productive defenseman. So I love to see it so far.
100%. So I can't believe this flew over my radar, but he played forward in junior. And I mean, we know this now, but you see that offensive ability. He's like Schlinton in a way. He loves to take that puck off the ice. He's not afraid to do that, and have to skate back if he needs to. But I gotta say, like his stick is like really long. It's defenseman stick, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's able to control the puck pretty well with that. So that's something I'm impressed with. But seems like he reads it pretty well, and trying to take advantage of, getting NHL minutes now because he wasn't able to with such a stacked, deep Vegas team.
Yeah.
But he's been great. He's been great.
Yeah.
And we're getting that. So I gotta say, man, it's true. You gotta trust the Conroy process. I think that's 2 reasons of proof for save. So that's been pretty great.
I see. I love to see it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Bring it.
yeah,
Trust the process.
for sure, man.
We brought up Matt Coronado back to the Flames ever since the last few trades happened at the deadline. He got his second goal of the season, which was a beautiful goal
That
against
was a nice
Vegas.
goal.
I loved seeing Matt Coronado on this team again. And I'm just curious what you're thinking so far. Maybe how much did the AHL kind of boost his confidence, because he did really well as a rookie with the Wranglers. But I'm just curious what you think so far with him back in the lineup.
You can tell the goal he scored, like, man, he was smiling. So
Oh, he's so
you can tell
happy
that
about that.
helped his confidence immensely. I think he's looked more confident. There still is that sentiment that he needs to be a little stronger on the puck for saying, yeah, you can say that. But again, like there's gonna be there's gonna be rookie mistakes and things will be fixed.
Yeah.
So, but what like he has the potential. And this is what excites me about this team. There's potential, man. Like you see the potential in Wolf, you see the potential in Coronado and other young guys. Like Pospisil's a good example of that with his physicality.
Zori.
Too, with that's what's exciting about it. So I want him to play with the team and just get more NHL experience, because he's gonna probably crack the roster spot again opening night, and I hope he will probably play majority of the season, because again, I'm guessing you're probably gonna trade some older players and probably going to fill it in with young guys, because that's kind of the sentiment with the Conroy team now. But I think he's looked great, and I hope he just keeps putting up stuff on the scoreboard, because that would be great for everyone involved for say.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Actually, I got the stats up for this. In the AHL so far, he's played 40 games and he has 42 points with 15 goals on the Wranglers as of right now. And one thing I also noticed just in the last few games of watching him play with the Flames, you do mention, yes, he does get pushed off the puck really easily, but again, he's still young. He could still bulk up in the off season, hit the weight room, and get that ability to stay on the puck even in physical moments during the game. But one thing I noticed in that goal he scored, his second, that edge work, that skating work on how
Yeah.
he had to transition his whole body and rely on his edges to perfectly set himself up for that one timer was gorgeous.
I mean, same. I think that it also kind of taps into his hockey skills too. Like his IQ seems to be pretty good, and I think he's a good stick handler as well. So, skills that man, if he keeps working on them, they're going to be even better. So I
I
think he's going to
know.
be a great all around goal scorer, man. I
I
mean,
can't wait.
it'd be nice to have another Iggy around, I guess he wouldn't be like an Iggy in the physicality sense, but
Zari on the left, Iggy as a center, Coronado as the right. That would be probably the next Flames first
amazing.
line.
Amazing. That'd be something
That
else,
would be
eh?
amazing. Like again, I want to ask these questions about draft, but we're not deciding that until at least game 82. We can't talk about it because we don't know our place yet.
100%. Speaking of roster though, like looking at the roster comparative to the start of the season, it's crazy. Let's quickly
Oh
just
wow.
dive right into the start of the. I'm gonna look at the roster at the start of the season and then compare it to the last game. Start of the season. Your first line was Huberto Lindholm, remember him, and Sharon Govich.
Yep.
Second line, Dylan Dubé, Nazem Kadri, Matt Coronado, and his number was 39 at that time. Crazy.
Oh yeah, he switched to
Um,
27.
yeah. Third line. Oh wait, no, I think he switched it before season. I could be wrong. Anyways, third line usually was Mangiapane, Bax, and Coleman. Makes sense. This line stayed the same since like the Gaudreau days, which is kind of funny.
Yep.
Fourth line was Jacob Pelche, Adam Ruzicka, and Walker Duehr. So if those guys are gone. Your defense and like, oh my goodness, it's just kind of we did have an underrated defense. We really did, but it was Hanifin, Anderson, Uyghur, Tanev, Shillington, Zadorov, right? And probably had like DeSimone or Gilbert take one of those spots
Yeah.
if someone was out, and then goalies Markstrom and Vidar. Then you look at last game against the Canadiens. The first line was Huberto, Kadri, Pospisil, Mangiapane, back and Coleman. These guys will stay with each other for the test of time. Dryden Hunt, who's actually, we haven't even talked about him. He's played well.
Oh, right. That's
Liked how
another
he's
name.
played. Yeah, he's played great. Yegor Sharangovich is, solid. Can't believe you graded him an F there. Puck Empire. That's crazy. And then Kuzmenko, And then AJ Greer's back, which is great. Kevin Rooney and Matt Coronado. So yeah, a lot of young guys there. Defense now, holy moly.
Oh boy.
Shillington, Rasmus Anderson, Mackenzie Weegar, Daniil Miramanov, Nikita Ohochuk, and Braden Pahal. Your goalies, of course, would be Wolf Vladar. Wowzers.
Wowzer.
This a
That's a
lot
difference.
has changed. And you like we know this because the trades and everything and you've been following it, but when you really look at it, like actually like have the sheet of the rosters staring at you, you're like, wow, this team has changed a lot.
Yeah, definitely from just looking at the game one compared to where we're at right now. The only thing that didn't change was Mangiapane, Backlund, and Coleman together. They
Yep.
got a line upgrade. That's the only difference. But
Yep, exactly.
no, but we look at the rest of this lineup, and you got to give a lot of respect that Pospisil really likes playing with Kadri. And every time Pospisil's in the lineup, we have a better chance of winning. There's literally stats that can prove that. And Pospisil alone is actually playing on a very different level than we thought he would be. And that's why he got the upgrade to the first line. And I love to see it from him. Like we said, with the second line has not changed since the beginning of the season. Sharangovich and Kuzmenko are a deadly duo. Any line
Studs.
you put them on, those two are just perfect chemistry, perfect connection with each other. I love to see it with that. And I also love that Dryden Hunt kind of snuck himself into this lineup too. He's performing very well for the Flames right now.
That's a great way to describe it. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I gotta say that is a great way to describe it. Like Hunt, he was just someone I didn't really think about, putting into the lineup, but I think every assist he's had has been a quality play. Like he's creating quality plays, and it's just I'm like, who is that? I'm like, it's Hunt. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like awesome that you're getting these performances from players you're not expecting it from. It's
That's
all it's awesome. This is what the team needs.
Actually, I got some stats with him. So he's been
All
on the
right.
Calgary. He's been flipping back and forth with the Calgary Wranglers and the Flames. This year with the Wranglers, he played 23 games with 22 points, 7 points, and 15 assists, or 7 goals, 15 assists. Assists, my bad. And
Pretty much.
so far with the Flames this year, he's played 17 games and put up 6 points. So obviously, for like one of his first years actually playing with the Flames, he's doing pretty well. Like you can notice him out there, and I honestly I love it. Again, he really did sneak himself into that third line, but
He really did.
I mean he's playing well. I think Husko really likes him. I think so.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
yeah, he used to be the coach of the Wranglers, which that means he would know Hunt from there. So he must love his play enough to put him on the third. So I mean,
Like
okay, another name. Sorry, interrupt, but another name we could kind of just talk about as well that's been performing pretty well is Oliver Shillington. He's missed a lot of time with the Flames, but now he's picked himself back into the lineup. 20 games, already has 5 points, and he's starting to look like his old self, and I love to see it from him.
I have been impressed ever since he came back how the way he's playing for missing that much time because practice is different from game experience. And I mean, I don't think he's missed a beat in certain ways of his game for say, like that speed for say, that puck moving ability. And you're right, like he's gotten better every single week. And a little more practice, man. I mean, I would love to see like a full healthy Shillington next season. I mean, you got to sign him,
Yeah.
but I feel like he's someone you can actually guarantee to sign, and I'd love to have him back. I mean, he's you know what another defenseman where it's like sometimes it's good that you don't hear his name on the TV on the screen a lot because
Mm.
he's doing his job, right? Unless
Yeah.
he's lugging it up the buck, lugging it up the ice there and scoring goals. But yeah, like that's a good story, and there's been a few good stories coming out of this year, and that's easily a top one. Like he deserved that ovation when he came back easily.
Actually, you know what? The more I'm looking at, so I'm looking at Cat Friendly right now, and thank the Lord we did get rid of those UFAs that were going to go into free agency this year. So because after this season, we got Peltier the sign, AJ Greer the sign, Oliver Shillington the sign, Dennis Gilbert the sign, and we do have Dustin Wolf to resign. So there is a
Yep.
definitely a few youngsters that we do have to resign this offseason. But overall, I could be madder. At least we have a direction. Games are entertaining enough where I don't want to just turn it off. And
Yeah, that's true because there was I want to say what 3 weeks ago, 2
yeah,
weeks ago, we were like, I hate this. Yeah,
I
it was
just want to
boring.
turn it off. I could do something else, but
It's more
I've
fun,
been
man.
enjoying games. I've been
Yeah,
enjoying
they've been
games.
playing.
But before we do go, there is one more thing I do want to go over. And we look at the rest of March. Tomorrow, we verse the Washington Capitals, and then we move to Vancouver. We verse Buffalo on the 24th. We play the Chicago on the 26th, and Bedard's going to
Bernardo.
be there too. So
Bubble
that's
Bernard.
yeah, that's an instant L. And then the 28th, we play St. Louis. So that's going to be a wild card battle. And then we finish off the month versing the LA Kings. So T-Dog, what do you think's going to happen in the next couple of games? How is it going to look in
Well,
your opinion?
some of these are winnable games, but it's again mucky middle. You win a few, you lose a few. So, I could see you beating Washington, right? That team's been struggling this season. Vancouver, you know what? They're always a good I sometimes find the Vancouver rivalry a little more entertaining recently than the Battle of Alberta. Man, be something to beat the Canucks, especially at home, in Vancouver. I don't know if you can do it though. It's tough, right?
Yeah.
But that'd be something. Buffalo, had their struggles, playing a little better now. You could. Chicago, I mean, we always struggle, so we're gonna lose, but you should be beating them. You
Yeah.
should be able to beat St. Louis. LA struggling goalie stuff as long as you're not gonna get goalied. 500? That's my guess. That's my guess.
Yeah, honestly, with how this team's looked, we're probably going to go on a 3-game losing streak. We're going to we're going to go on a 4-game losing streak because the end of it would be Chicago. Then we'll probably win against the Blues and the Kings. But realistically, it's good hockey still. Most games are good hockey. But again, I want losses. I think now you've already picked a direction on what you want with this team, and I want a top 10 pick. I really do.
Fair man. Fair
Tej
man.
is gonna.
Some dude on the Reddit page had a dream,
Oh, what's the dream?
and that he was walking at the mall, and the TV screen, and they picked ninth.
They pick 9th.
Yeah, playing pick ninth. So
I mean, Tej will be right there. I'm happy.
it's all about the affirmations. We might as well title this podcast episode "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac. That's what we could call it.
That's pretty good, actually. I was thinking 15 games left, but you know what? I think we got to go with a man can dream on this one.
A man can dream. We haven't done that in a minute, bro. We haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah, literally.
Man can dream.
Man
That's
can dream.
crazy.
Wait, so are you fully committing now to wanting Tej if we have the chance to draft Tej again? Are you committing
man,
to that now?
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, yeah, we have Brustevich, but I gotta say, if Yakimchuk's on the board, you get Yakimchuk. But
Yeah.
Tej Ginla, man, it's tough.
Dude, it is because realistically, if you look at the draft pool that the Flames have, we do have a lot of forward prospects that are looking good. But if you look defensively, realistically, it is just Hunter and Jeremy Poirier right now. That's the only big depth or the big prospect pool we have for defensemen. So I would like a defenseman, but if Tej is there, you go for Tej. You get
emotionally aside, you go for the best player there. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So that's my answer. Because it'd be cool to get Tej, but here's the thing: that's a lot of shoes to fill, and that might affect things. And
I mean, if we do draft him and he kind of looks to the
It would be
Raptors
sick.
first, it would be sick. But imagine just the pressure that you would be under, that you look up and your dad's jersey's hung up in the Raptors. You're like, shit, that's a big handle. That's a lot to handle, man.
The only way we'll know it'll happen is if they come up to the stage and Conroy says, "I'm gonna have my advisor again, Jerome McGinley, come up and announce the pick." That's how you know.
Dude, that would be amazing. But I'm excited. We have to figure out where we land first, but hey guys, that's been Flames Talk for you. If you did enjoy this, please like, comment, and subscribe as always. We love the support you guys give on our videos on TikTok, Instagram, and here on YouTube. So please just subscribe, do what you want, comment, we love it. T-Dog, get us out of here.
Alrighty, I'll get us out of here. Leading to our left here, we'll take out the exits by giving us a big thumbs up. Comment down below in this video. Question of the day for you. Which Flames player has been the most surprising for you recently? Is that a new guy in Daniil Marimanov or some guy who's been staying around a little longer like Sharon Govich, Coleman, Kadri? Who else? Who else? Let us know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, we are going to get out of here. We will see you guys in the next one. Remember to drink your water. And hey, that's a whole month of playoff hockey, baby. Let's get going. All right, we will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.
Peace.